When someone asks, "How are you?" typically in English we say, "I am fine," or we say, "I am very well," or "I am doing great," etc. In Spanish, we pretty much have the same expressions, but here's one way in which it is super simple to answer that question without having to remember a whole lot of things. So you can say, "Very well" in English. In Spanish, it translates to "muy bien." Muy bien. Yes. Muy sounds a little bit like the cow, right? The sound that the cow makes in English. So if you can remember that sound and then you add at the end an E, you capture the pronunciation of muy. Muy. In English, you pronounce this letter as E and then the sound that the cow makes. Muy bien. Very well. You can also say in Spanish, "Yo estoy bien." This translates into "I am well." I am well. Yo. Because in English, your Y has that sound of you or that sort of sound. But in Spanish, it sounds like j, which would be the sound for you as a G. And I'm going to erase this because I don't want anybody getting confused. But basically, your sound of that letter in the alphabet in English is the pronunciation for our Y. Okay? So you should be saying, you're obviously not going to say yo, right? Because that would be the sound for your Y. But in Spanish, we make this sound J. Just like a G, like a, general. When you say general, you use that J sound. Well, that is the sound that we use for a Y. Yo, which means I, estoy, am, bien, well. You're going to notice that here the sound is a little bit different. Y, estoy, estoy. So we have a sound of a G, and we also have the sound of an E. And they are both Ys. Yo estoy bien. That is one way in which you can answer the question, "How are you?" That's why I prefer this, because it's only 2 words. Easy to remember. Muy bien. Very well. To me, this is ideal. To me, this requires a little bit more studying or a little bit more of practicing. But anybody out there can say muy bien. I think that's excellent. Now, you can also say this one right here, "Yo estoy bien," by just omitting. You can just omit and forget about the first part. In Spanish, we can say "am well" and it is perfectly intelligible, understood, common, correct. It is all good. Estoy bien. Am well. I do understand that in English we don't do that. Nobody, if somebody asks us, how are you? We don't say, I'm well. Nobody says that. We say, I am well. But in Spanish, you can get away with it. So this ends this lesson, and I will see you on the next one.